Good evening and welcome to Nosey Road, round 24 of Super League 7. You're at the home of the most successful team in Super League, the Saints. The Halifax side are on the pitch. We'll just run through those this evening. It's Donlan at full-back, Beckett, Flowers, Woods and Halliwell to three-quarters. Duneman and Finn at the half-back pairing, with Gannon, Lawless and Goldspink in the front row. Clayton, McMenemy and Brocklehurst at loose forward. On the bench we've got Clinch, Davidson, Hobson and Netherton. The Saints side is Darren Albert at full-back, Hoppy, Gleeson, Newlove and Kirkpatrick, Martin and Long at half-back, Nickel, Cunningham and Shields in the front row, Joint, Stankovic and Sculthorpe the back three. On the bench we've got Ward, Hyam, Edmondson and Mike Bennett. And don't forget, Saints, obviously, as I said, the most successful side in Super League, and also victors over the Bulls last week at Valley Parade. Beat them on their own mid-in, the first time they've been beaten for 2 years. And don't forget, you can buy your Micron version in the club shop. Just go and see Chris or Carol in there and tell them I've sent you. Here come the Saints this evening. Chris Joint leads them out with mascots Becky Lee and Daniel Lee. Brother and sister, Becky goes to Merton Bank Primary. Her hobbies are playing rugby, also playing tennis, watching the Saints, and her favourite player is Tommy Martin. Now Daniel, he's 12, he goes to Cowley. His hobbies are rugby and football and watching the Saints. And Danny's favourite player is Sean Long. So Long and Martin, the prolific half-back partnership. So your matchday mascots, Becky Lee and Daniel Lee out there. Welcome to one and all in the sponsors boxes, our main sponsor, Caledonia Motor Company, and all the others that are there in the boxes and wherever you're receiving this broadcast. Before we kick off, we're going to have a minute's silence in respect of the two girls from Soham murdered almost 3 weeks ago, Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman.
Sorrowed and saddened by the tragic events that have unfolded in Soham. We at Saints, along with our colleagues in the rugby league community, would like to show our sorrow, and we call on all spectators to observe a minute's silence in respect for the tragedy in Soham and the young lives cruelly taken, Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman.
A minute's silence, impeccably honoured in respect of the two schoolgirls, Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman. You're with Micron Video, bringing you all the action. My name's Ron Hoof. Darryl McCall is with me this evening. You're up against it tonight, Darryl, aren't you?
Well, we are, but we've got a secret weapon, Friday night football. We performed against the Saints a couple of weeks ago and Bradford very well on a Friday night. Unfortunately, we fell down on Sunday against Castleford. And they pushed Saints all the way last time, but Saints, with that brilliant home record, Halifax with a bag load of injuries, and this is probably the last place you want to come. But they're going to find it tough, but it's about putting a bit of faith back and a bit of unity into the team after that disappointment last week.
Yes, you had disappointment last week. We was ecstatic at Bradford. Give the old Bulls some umpy after giving them 8-point lead, and let's hope we can build on it tonight. We could do with a good win against Halifax. Obviously they're in 9th position, and Saints 50 points they trail to Bradford in the league. A win tonight and the Bulls play Castleford, and that ball is going to have to be played. Well, he did well to get back into the field of play. Well, the referee says he hasn't got back into the field of play. Well, it's consultation with the in-goal touch judge. I don't...
They stopped them before tackle were made.
No. So the ball must have gone... it's obviously... Well, he's not put it out. It's that's that stupid ruling that comes from Australia into that. I mean, that is a terrible ruling, that. But Saints have the ball back. Peter Shields, as we were just saying, we could do with a good win, trailing by 50. John Long, drop off to Nickel. Nickel going at the end of the season, obviously attracting bids from various other Super League teams, as Sculthorpe onto the 20. Stankovic. Albert at full back. We've got Wellens and Britt out. Cunningham, darting run, power into the line. 3 men on his outside. He takes the tackle. It's the last one of the sequence. Scully at short range. Yes, Sculthorpe puts it down, bounces it down, extends the arm, and Saints in after 2 minutes. The best possible start the Saints could have had. Halifax from the kick-off there. Well, the ball went down, was kicked downfield. There was a bit of a cock-up, if that's the right word, in the in-goal area. The touch judge and the referee gave the drop out from between the sticks. Saints brought the full set through there, and it was the last tackle. Cunningham perilously close, slipped it to Scully, and he took 2 and 3 with him and pushed the arm out, touched it down over the whitewash. Tease it up. Fine evening here at St Helens. Of course, you're in God's country now, Darrell, and that's why it's a nice evening. It's nearly always freezing your cods off up in Halifax, aren't you? So Sculthorpe with the kick. Oh, it's all the way. It's all the way. Dead centre. Scully makes it 6.
And he converts the try also for Saints, number 13, Paul Sculthorpe.
Saints going to build on last week's performance. 8 tries against Bradford, 9 goals for Scully, especially the last one, which brought up the 50 points. So the Blue Sox yet to touch the ball properly. Nickel, driving run. Halifax moving up quickly, as you'd expect. Scully, lovely ball. Albert! Round Donlan, still going is Albert. Puts the ball to Cunningham. Over they go. What a try! The referee points to the spot. Cunningham, after 5. You don't come up for breath. Lovely play by the Saints, bringing the ball downfield. Albert coming through onto a lovely ball. Bamboozled Donlan, went round him. Then the cover defence came over from the Halifax right flank. Support from Cunningham. I didn't think Albert was going to get the ball out, but he did. What a try, and Sculthorpe from right in front, and it's going to be 12-0 after 6 minutes. Darrell, I'll let you get a word in. You can't scintillate in rugby, and all coming from obviously 2 tries in the space of 3 minutes from what we considered a bit of an error.
First one might have been, but second one's pure class. Darren Albert, fastest man in rugby league, nobody to catch him. And Kieran Cunningham can't be that slow either, because to get the back of him, but David Woods tried, and here comes Saints again. As Castleford did on Sunday, they released the ball too easy in the tackle. Halifax defence is poor, but no answer to Albert's speed and pace.
Yeah, pure pace. But obviously a little debate over the ball going dead or whatever, but Martin, well, that's a poor kick from Tommy Martin from the penalty. Saints are chasing it. Hoppy! Halifax going to be tested. Oh, they've held him. Yes, once again. The Blue Sox, they're up against it. I'm saying it was a poor penalty. I don't know whether that was a planned ploy, Darryl. But the chase was on, and the Blue Sox there. Danny Halliwell.
Well, although Halliwell was retreating, probably didn't know there were anybody behind him. He did have one of his teammates on the other side pointing to pick the ball up, because he could see the Saints approaching, but Halliwell left it too long and got caught in goal again.
Yeah, so Saints in possession. The Blue Sox haven't had any possession. That's how the Saints were for the first 10 minutes or so at Bradford last week. What Saints 12-0 up. Albert, Sculthorpe, Gleeson. He takes the tackle. Halliwell in, along with Flowers. Long, scintillating break by Long that started it off before. New Love, now Cunningham again. Long, dabs it through, Albert poaching. It's gone dead. So a chance now. No, it's gone dead. It's a drop out from between the sticks. I didn't know whether it had come dead off a Saints player, but obviously not. Dooneyman, deep drop. Shields takes it. The Blue Sox build up again to try and stem this Saints attack. Has Steve Linnane got the answer? Cunningham, out of the traps, out of the blocks. Long, intercepted there, Halliwell. And over to you, Darryl.
Well, they've a long way to go in 6 tackles. St Helens haven't had to make... Well, they've not really had to make one, because they've caught Halliwell behind the line twice. And I think actually it's a rather interesting statistic. I think it's the first time in 4 meetings that Saints have actually gone in front, because Halifax led in the Challenge Cup. They led with a Cardiff penalty earlier in the season, and of course they led at Thrumall last month. So Saints sitting... Thrumall. I wish.
Just testing.
Long gone are them days. That's what you were talking about, cold earlier on. But goal spin cut the middle. Halifax have made good yards from the possession they've had. They've got back onto the Saints 10. Whether they can get over the line or not remains to be seen. Brocklehurst loose forward, one of the 3 19-year-olds in this squad. In fact, 4 if you count young Etherington, who's come from Leeds on loan till the end of the season. But Netherton, beg your pardon. But it's I think Brocklehurst, Finn and Clayton all made their debuts against top 3 clubs. I know Ryan Clayton certainly did it away at Wigan. Brocklehurst early in the season against Leeds, and Liam Finn made his debut against Bradford. So they're not going to be overawed, and they're playing for a place for next season as well, of course.
Yeah, Saints have the penalty. Obviously a kick by Liam Finn over on the far side. Kirkpatrick and Newlove wing, it was defused. And then the Blue Sox infringed, and good yardage from the Saints. Moved it to the right, took it back on the short side. 12-0 and 11 minutes on the clock. Shields inside Blue Sox territory. Sculthorpe. Looked as though he was going to squeeze it out of the back door. Another penalty there. Goldspink, one of the offenders. And who else was in there? Ryan Clayton. But a penalty to the Saints in good attacking position. Nicol drives the ball 5 metres short. Cunningham again. Will he strike from short distance? He's looking to poach. He's held up and now forced to the earth. Will he go short side again? Saints have them stacked right along the line. Long, Martin. Back, Joint puts it back. The ball's lost. The Blue Sox have it. It's 12-0. And Blue Sox just outside the 20.
Well, he's an old stager, he's David Woods, and I think it'll probably be his last season because he's one of these players who can't walk till Wednesday after he's played on Sunday. But he's certainly been a rock in defence, and Halifax have missed him when he's been out injured. And he's one of the young guns, Ryan Clayton, who's not phased at all by playing in the big time. Duneman, who, well, nobody knows. They say he's on his way at the end of the season, but he's signed till the end of next season, so Blue Sox should have a few quid in the pot from Duneman if he goes. Brocklehurst, well, making the most out of that. Saints had trouble putting him down. He's a big lad. Kick up in the air for Oppie. He's been taking them for years, as Sean Oppie. Here comes Albert again. Good ball out wide to Long.
And Long down the wing, feeds it inside. Gleeson, Saints keep it going. Sean Long takes the tackle. Duneman and Halliwell. Stankovic taking the Halifax defence on. Just outside the 40. Have Blue Sox got the answer? They just settled down a bit. Kirkpatrick feeds back inside, brought down on the Blue Sox 40. Saints certainly spreading it. Shields, he straightens it up. Good ball, Albert, backing up. Look at that, sheer pace, sheer class. Albert in for the 4-pointer. Brilliant rugby. Well, it's all going Saints' way there. I thought it was about time we scored. We hadn't scored for 9 minutes. Albert on the end of a Peter Shields pass. Darren Britt out. He put Long in for a good try last week, following the man with the ball, just looking to release that short pass when the defence had come in. That's what Peter Shields did. Albert poaching on the end of it, went in for the try. His 22nd of the season. And listening to the GMR rugby programme, obviously we've got plenty of wags, and there was one good comment, whether you heard it or not, where he said Chris Casely has reported the Saints again to the Rugby Football League for fielding a full-strength side last Friday evening. I don't know whether they picked up another Ian Millward ploy at one scrum there. We had 7 in the scrum. The referee called an extra player in to lock at the back of the pack, and we'd already got 6 in. So he did us a favour, but Scully converts it. His 3rd of the night, brings him up to 80 for the season. Just that short ball again, Darryl, obviously following the man with the ball, and you give it to Darren Albert, and as you say, blistering pace, and the Blue Sox did have a job to catch him.
Well, they do, but I'm just thinking about Chris Casely there. I'm sure he'll be sweetened with the knowledge this week that he's getting $4.5 million off Bradford Council to go back to Odsal, to the Superdome.
Yeah, but they'll only get about 7,000 in it or something. The big stand's been condemned, and you know, after they'd had it for that World Speedway, and the terracing is brilliant there at Odsal. It just needed covering, and if they'd have done it straight away, it'd have been a good job, wouldn't it? Anyway, we've just been gnashing, took the eye off the ball. Is it Halifax head and feed?
Not many me off the back of the scrum. Duneman on to Donlan. Well, he's not going to get away from Darren Albert. He's shadowed him. Ryan Clayton makes a mistake. Here comes Saints again.
Yeah, quick breakaway. I think it was Clayton that knocked it on. Saints scooped it up quickly. Blue Sox all offside in front of the referee, but he lets it go. Stankovic takes a big hit off Clayton first, and then Goldspink, the former Saints player, comes in to finish him off. And now Saints spread it to the left. Martin, lovely ball. Try, it must be. Nicol takes it. Nicol to the left of the sticks. Oh, it's bank holiday next Monday. It's walking day here at Nosey Road tonight. Nicol in for his third. I said in the introduction that we need a big score tonight, obviously, to claw some of those points advantage back that the Bradford Bulls have, and Saints are doing it in good style. Clayton, I think it was, that put it down. Saints scooped it up, passed it quickly, and that's the end result. Nicol through on the end of it. He's obviously playing for a place somewhere next season. Sculthorpe pops it over, 24-0, 18 minutes gone. A quick mention while we've got a break for George Speakman. He's the father of Peter Speakman that runs the lottery here at Nosey Road. He's 65 years young tomorrow, and I've heard it off good authority that he's been getting in at the pensioners' gate for years. Well, that's happy birthday, George Speakman, 65 years old tomorrow. He'll be enjoying this tonight, won't he? Champagne rugby here at Nosey Road, the home of the most successful side in Super League. Hoppy sidesteps infield, Flowers, and Halliwell bring him to earth. The flyer, Albert, just tripped over a rather long piece of grass there. But Gleeson, inside, Scully, outside to Hoppy. 19 gone, Hoppy in, that'll bring the 30 if Scully can pop it over. Well, I don't know what they've been feeding them on, but by Jove, I'll have some of it as well. Yeah, 1963, last time Halifax won here.
In league.
In the league, yeah, in the league. Oh, I don't forget that. So Scully now, looking to keep up his 100% record. And why not indeed? Oh, it's dead centre from Sculthorpe. Saints 30, Blue Sox 0. I think we might declare at half-time, Daniel. Yeah, the Blue Sox last weekend lost at home to Cass, 16 points to 40. Fifth loss on the trot, one win in 10 games. I do them an injustice. They're in 9th position with 12 points. Obviously Warrington, Wakefield on 10 and Salford on 9. Saints take the ball, play it quickly. Yeah. Millward said he's down to the bare bones. Obviously we've got injured players with Wellens and Britt out. They've had knee operations. They'll be right for the last game of the first game of the playoffs. But we have a week off the first, you know, when we finish top. And we'll finish top, don't worry about it. Gleeson does well to pick it up. Obviously we've got Yonkers out west, Stewart and Eddie Gardner. So players to come back. Saints are certainly hitting top form, and Nicol powering through. Gannon, Hobson, who's come on as a substitute. Now it's Gleeson, inside to Hoppy. Saints again pressing, long. Oh, Halifax retrieve the ball. They have possession right on their own line.
Well, he's brought Hobson and Davidson on, but they're not defenders, they're impact players that like to go forward, so they're going to have to do a bit more work. Saints have got the ball again, another mistake by Halifax.
So Saints pressing. Shields. Can he stretch out? Halifax don't want it, unfortunately. Man, they haven't had much ball, have they, Darryl? Saints, it's been all Saints. Oh, Nickel puts it back to try here. It's going to be a walk-in. Yes, Stankovic. Easy. Stankovic over for the 6th try. 6 different players crossing the whitewash. Good play by the Saints, taking it on the short side. Looked to try all the way, but then Stankovic looked as though he was going to be tackled. Just give that little bit of a shimmy, offered the ball to the outside. The Blue Sox took it, and Stankovic was in.
You're just saying there Halifax haven't had much ball. When they have had it, they haven't wanted to keep it. They've not completed a set of 6, and I think you'll find they've probably only had the ball half a dozen times, and they've either made a mistake because they have behind the line, or they've spilt possession back. In fact, I'll be surprised in the time they've had the ball if they've actually gone through 6 tackles, let alone a full set of 6.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think you're dead on. Scully again, between the uprights, nothing wrong with that. Touch judges raise the flag. 36-0, 6 tries, 6 goals. %100% record.
And conversion was trying to say to the 13 balls. Goal!
Well, Flowers has just been replaced. Saints still have the possession. Excellent stuff. No doubt Ian Milward-Eel have drilled into this side, that once you get the side on the rack, and obviously you can't do anything, you can't score if you've not got possession. Well, Sculthorpe nearly took a haymaker there from Hobson. It's a good job it didn't connect. Scully back now, unloads it to Shields after Cunningham had got the ball away. Shields again, did well, Cunningham did well to pick it up. Last one of the sequence. Yeah, Shields is injured. Scully puts a reverse angle kick. Oh, it's a try, Martin! Yes! Tommy Martin following it up. Thank you very much. Well, he's not give it, he's give offside. Well, he's got to keep the score down somewhere, Darryl. You know what I mean? You Yorkshire men, they stick together like the proverbial to the blanket. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that at all. Mark my words, commentator's eye.
Which one, Lord Nelson's? Well, at least we keep a sense of humour. We have to do watching this every week. Davidson off to a short ball. Halifax in the St Helens half, virgin territory. I think they've only been there once with the ball so far. Oh, twice. Long pass out wide, but they won't find any space because the Saints side in defence are moving across. Unlike Halifax, who are leaving some big gaps out wide as Saints draw them into the centre. Hobson takes it off. It's a soft tackle really. Stankovic on Hobson. Duneman over the top, takes the shoulder, but ran into the man, says Russell Smith, and I think he did. Perhaps that might be a way. I thought the way he got up there might be a way of looking for an easy way off the field.
Saints in possession, and don't they look good? Sculthorpe. The Blue Sox haven't got the answer. The big match players. Long ducks under the tackle. Puts it out to Hoppy. Takes it on the full. Can't get up. The defence comes in quickly. Forward pass given.
Brought Netherton on. Brought Jason Netherton on for...
Davidson's come on for
Netherton.
Goldsmith.
And he's moved Clayton out to the centre. Yeah. McMenemy gets through the first tackle of Chris Joint into the arms of Newell of Halifax, trying to play it quickly. Dunham out wide to Woods, who almost got away then. First tackle dropped off, but reinforcements were there. Here comes Davidson. That's what Davidson's on for. He's he gets booed everywhere he goes, was Paul Davidson. Now it's not just at St Helens. They don't like him everywhere. I think Adolph are more popular than Paul Davidson. But you can't say he doesn't do his work. He tries. He's like Sonny Nichols, same as the odd moment or two. Barry McDermott, Dean Sampson.
So a lot of concern over Albert. He did get his hand to the base of his back as before the physio came on, but he's face down there and didn't look a lot didn't look much in the tackle. Well, he actually came in for the ball, didn't he? The ball was loose and he came in and as I was saying before, they're down to the bare bones, they reckon, and that's going to be a blow if Darren Albert's out. Speed Merchant, now a little bit of shuffling. Let's hope there's... well, they're going to turn him over. Obviously, they put the stretcher on his back and they're going to try and turn him over to get him off the field of play. I've never seen that before. But they're putting the neck brace on, obviously precaution. Now they're turning him over. So testing times as Mickey Hyam, I think it is, it's coming on. Yeah, Mickey Hyam, a former Halifax player that he wasn't there for so long. But Donlan, obviously linked, former league player that went to Halifax, also linked to coming to St Helens many moons ago, but it didn't come off. Yeah, Darren Albert being stretched off. Sympathetic round of applause. So straight into the dressing room, and whether we get a report later on, well, let's hope it's nothing too serious. Obviously, precautionary measure. Saints try and build up again. They won't lose the shape from this, the Saints. There's no danger about that. 36 points to nil. 29 minutes gone on the clock. Joint runs out wide, over on that left flank. Martin turns it left. Newlove, Kirkpatrick. Yes, Kirkpatrick in for the try. Third try of the season for this lad, and didn't he do well? Pure strength that took him through. Joint started it over on the left, running out wide. Then I think it was Martin attacked in half-back. Took the ball, looked as though he was going to bring it to the right. Took it back to the left. Quick hands. Newlove, Kirkpatrick. In at the corner, did well. Very sad this evening Just, well, no ball, Darrell, and when you've had it, as you say, mistakes, and you can't do it, can you? A very sparse Eddington, just a few blue and white jerseys, as Nickel playing well, driving well, against obviously a lacklustre Blue Sox side. Sides thrive on confidence, and they're not getting it. Saints are. Cunningham unloads Sculthorpe out to the back door. Stankovic to Gleeson. Gleeson cuts inside, unloads it to Nickel. Saints are spreading it. They can put the wide ball out to the left again. Saints did have an overlap there, but the tackle completed. Now it's over to the left. Long, deep kick. Will it find touch? Oh, well taken on that far flank. Robbie Beckett did well there, Darrell.
Oh no, well he's injured his Beckett. I know he's been troubled by a leg injury for longer than this season. But I mean, he made the mistake early, but he didn't make many, don't Beckett. And he's not far behind Albert on speed, because at one time Robbie Beckett was a target of St Helens before they got Darren Albert. So that's the sort of esteem he's held in rugby league circles. And he's not had much chance this season to show his pace, but when he has, he can go. He's got back up. Well, he's had to do, because Halifax are going to be struggling for replacements before long. Halifax have got a penalty, and they can't even make it out with that.
Well, he's given a penalty. He said it had bounced off his chest and then come up high. So, I mean, the point of impact, I just can't understand that.
Well, I think it's the contact, not the impact. There we go again. Davidson loses the ball. And they're jeering Davidson, but he's running with the ball. You can't come to a dead stop. Hoppy's coming into him. You can't just stop like that.
Yeah, Davidson obviously coming through, couldn't control it. Nothing in that at all. But Saints have had him feed at the scrum. Martin quickly unloads it. Hyam. He'll get a bit of stick from the few Halifax spectators that have travelled. And Hyam being roughed up the wrong way. Andrew Brocklehurst, the man that was offending then. No, Saints still have it, Darrell. Wishful thinking, that, Darrell. Joint backs into the defence. 15 metres from the line. 40 points to 0. 5 minutes to the interval. Still time for more points. Good running. Sculthorpe puts it out the back door. Referee says it's been knocked forward. I don't know how he comes up with that. And what he's saying, he knocked forward, touched Halifax player and came back. I think that's what his indication is. We'll go for that.
Well, it's closer than we are. And Halifax will have even more problems now, because Barry Ward bounces people off the fun and then unloads the ball. On to replace Peter Shields. Well, Saints tigerish in defence. This match already a long way out of Halifax's grasp as Davison drive it forward. Tries to spin in the tackle and bounce players off. Stopping on his feet, plays it eventually. Brocklehurst dropping the shoulder. But meeting stern defence from the Saints now. Andy Hobson showing the dummy. There's a big clash, Nickel and Hobson. Lawless from acting half. Just saw a little chink of light there as the players parted from the defending position. Last tackle, Doonerman, crossfield kick. A back off the Saints, here comes Kirkpatrick again. Well, Halifax just trying anything to keep the ball, I think.
Well, the captain's obviously said that he's held on to the ball, or the tackle player too long. And Doonerman is being warned, anything again from Russell Smith, and I'm afraid somebody's in the sin bin. But it's a penalty to the Saints. Tommy Martin, good touch finder on the 30-metre line. 3 minutes to the interval. Ward. Lies very low in the water, doesn't he, Darrell? Long. Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe powering through. 5 metres. Saints on the attack. Only a matter of time. And Saints will be over the whitewash again. Hyam. Centre field. 5 metres short. Nickel. He'll go. Has he got the ball down? The spectators at the back says yes. Referee said he's held up. It's still a 10-metre scrum, isn't it, with our head and feed? It's just delaying the inevitability. You would have thought he'd have touched down there. The spectators behind or in front of the clubhouse, behind the sticks there, cheered for it. Long's going to feed it. Scully out. Short side, it's Gleeson. Did well there, Gleeson. Good tackling. Darrell thought the ball had been released. No. Saints pressing. Blue Sox defending. Ward driving. Still powering to the line. Davidson's one of the tacklers in. Cunningham. The referee, somebody's in the sin bin. Oh yes, somebody's in the sin bin for the Blue Sox. Davidson, is he? On the popular side, faithful erupt. Davidson is not off the ground yet. The referee's got to wait. Saints will run it, as they do. Cunningham plays it, gives it to Ward. Ward twists in the tackle, still powering, backs into the defence. They can't get him down. Cunningham. He's held up. Now he's forced back into the field of play. Long along the line, Martin. Yes, lovely ball. Is it Newlove? I just can't see, Donald. Yeah, Paul Newlove. I thought it looked like him. Lovely ball. Sid spread it. Move it to the left. In for the 8. 44 without reply. Only 6 for the big man. There's a trip over the cord here. There might only 6 for the big man this season. And Scully looking to bring the half to a close with a conversion. 44-0. Missed one from that side about 9 minutes ago. Does he strike it better this time? The answer is yes. That ends the half. 8 tries. All different players. Sculthorpe, Cunningham, Albert, Nickel, Hoppy, Stankovic, Kirkpatrick. Newlove finishes it off right at the death. 7 goals from Paul Sculthorpe. Half-time at Knowsley Road. I'm losing my voice. Darrell hasn't even started using his yet. 46 points to 0. 46-0 at half-time. Both sides back on the pitch. Have a mention for a forthcoming wedding. A week tomorrow, yeah, the 31st of July. Darren, alias Bill Scatch Glover, and Susan Adams are tying the knot. She's making, or trying to make a decent man out of him. That's a big job. But Darren is the king of the bingo callers at the Mecca. Can Susan tame him? I think the answer's yes. He's well under the thumb now. Anyway, best wishes to Susan and Darren for the wedding a week tomorrow, the 31st of July, from both families. Too numerous to mention individually. And all at St Helens RLFC here, and us at Micron, Good on you, Darren and Susan. Saints get the game restarted. Halifax in possession, Donald.
Shall I take this off you? For the amount of time we've kept ball in first half. There you go, and we've knocked on.
Well, you can't win them all. You can't win them all out, lad, can you? One would be nice, but there you go. A knock on early on, is it the shape of things to come? Martin, New Love, centre field, 15 metres short. Joint runs out wide. Joint! Oh, I thought he was in there. Blistering pace. Hyam, acting half. Long drop off to Nickel. Running well tonight. Running strong and true. Cunningham steps up. Can the Blue Sox weather the storm? Saints spectators changed ends. Or some of them. Saints put the ball out. It's knocked on by the Blue Sox. That'll be play on. Head and feet to the Blue Sox. Knock on by the Saints initially. I don't agree with that.
You want everything, you, don't you? Oh, dearie me. Do you know, if it weren't for Halifax capitulating tonight, Saints wouldn't get up that points average, so, and it's only because we don't like Bradford. we dislike Bradford more than we dislike Saints. But we've held the ball for 3 tackles. But we've got a penalty as well.
You're down to 12 men, aren't you?
And we're down to 12 men, and John Lawless is taking it up on his own. He's been his usual self as Lawless in the first half. And he's been his usual self since the kick-off of the second half, because that's the second knock-on. But it must be very frustrating. But I don't think even with the size of the defeat tonight, it's the last 4 games of the season that are more important to Halifax, because they would have known with the record they've got here and the way the Saints play, continuing from last week, it's always going to be an uphill battle, and all the injuries they've got as well.
Yes, it's as you say, it's frustrating for the players that things don't go right. It's frustrating for the spectators, frustrating for the Halifax commentator, and obviously I'm ecstatic. Martin! Kirkpatrick's chasing it, Donlan's there. Donlan makes sure, boots it deep up into the Eddington stand. And I think Hobson's carrying a bit of a knock there, Darryl. He's called for treatment. He doesn't look very well. As I say, you're down to 12 players with Davidson in the sin bin. Oh, well, he's, yes, well, Gavin Clinch, obviously, is a great playmaker. He's on the bench, as Darrell's just said, but they've not introduced him yet. Martin takes the drop out. Barry Ward meets Lawless. Plays it quickly. Cunningham, darting run. Speculating ball. Kirkpatrick. Oh, just couldn't squeeze it up to New Love, but has another go again. Another couple of metres forward. Joint. He strains it up. Goes for the line. Brought down a midge short. Saints spread it out, and the points will come. Well, that was a knock on. Yes, a rare mistake. Stankovic knocking the ball forward. A lot of action there on the 20. Head and feet at the scrum. Half-time team talk, Darryl. Steve Linnane will have been obviously ripping into him, even though he is a quiet fella, but I mean, he tolerance only takes so much. I don't suppose Ian Mill would have had to say much.
Well, they've probably sat and had some popcorn and watched the video they'd sent Helens, but there's not a lot you say when you're down by so many points. And if you are going to keep hold of the ball, well, you've not much chance. It probably told them try and play out a set of 6 in second half. Well, they are trying, and they've got over halfway. Andy Hobson stood in an offside position. Duneman looking for a gap. closed up by the Saints defence. Last tackle. Back for the kick, which is high, but there's no pressure on with the chase, although Halliwell did do well to get there to make the tackle. But how good are Halifax at keeping Saints in their own quarter? Not so good in the first half.
No, they put it together well, Saints, didn't they? They threw the ball out and backed the man up in possession. Capitalising on the opposition's mistakes, as any good side would do. Long, good ball, Martin! The lining up is Newlove! Newlove! Inside ball, joint! Thank you very much, what a try! Full length of the field! Super try! Another new name on the scoreboard! Nine tries, 9 different players, full length of the field movement, great running by the Saints. Martin involved latterly just before getting into Halifax territory. Good support, Newlove, Kirkpatrick, joint. Sculthorpe from right in front, just about my heavy. 9 tries, Scully's 8th goal this. 52-0. Super stride, Darrell, full length of the field. Halifax didn't have the answer.
Well, it's hard enough with 13, but I don't think it'd have made a difference. Paul Davidson still off the field. And again, the Halifax were... Saints had stopped Halifax moving forward, and they just hit them like lightning. And Halifax have no answer. A lot of these young lads will have learnt a hard lesson tonight, these 19-year-olds, but they will learn from it. That is for sure.
Yes, it's again Bennett on for Nickel. He's had a good what, 47 minutes is Nickel. There's no danger about that. He's run hard. He's got over the whitewash in the first half, and Sculthorpe, the player's player, the man for all seasons, the man of steel, you name it. As I said, Scully's done it. Martin gets a deflection. It's all on. It's still on. Martin acts it on. Donlan, he's going to have to scoop it dead again. Donlan, he's had to take some stick at the back tonight, hasn't he, Darrell?
Well, he has, but as that ball came down there, when he looks down, it's down big style. That could have gone anywhere, but the 2 Saints players, and they kicked it on. Donlan, he'd no option, and it's happened as well as being there, because Scott would have been a lot more if he hadn't.
Yeah, he went down bravely, didn't he, though, as Martin and Newlove were hacking away at the balls. Martin brings it up. Barry Ward builds up head of steam, past the first one, up to the 30. Cunningham inside, strong runner, Bennett. Who's an arse from the crowd. Long juggles with it, must be a knock on that. A rare mistake. Brocklehurst comes to him. Davidson's back on.
Halifax restored to 13 men. That it'll make that much difference at this stage of the game. Duneman tries to go round the outside, comes off Halifax hand, and they've given it away again. Well, I don't really know, but I think Halifax would give this one up right from the start, even when they were 12-0 down, because there's 1 or 2 players making the effort, and 1 or 2 that well, not making the effort, but not putting in just as much as they should be, perhaps.
Here it's again, Hyam up to the 20. 3 men in, they're trying to bounce him down. Well, they're going to be spoken to if they start doing that. McMenemy, one of the tacklers. Was that a knock forward? Said to play it on. I didn't know whether it was a knock on off a Saints hand, but obviously not. Stankovic. Blue Sox line being tested yet again. Long crossfield kick. Beckett's pressure. Oh, he has to scoop it dead. He tried to pick it up, couldn't control it. And Saints were up there. Tommy Martin leading the chase, looking for the 10th four-pointer of the evening. When your confidence is down, it's down, isn't it, Darrell? It's not been the Blue Sox night. Kirkpatrick. Good tackling, bring him down on the 40. Jointed dummy half. Inside to Ward. He unloads it. Tommy Martin, well, knock on, Lawless. It was knocked on, he intercepted it, but it did touch the floor before he regathered it. Sean Long just pats him on the back. Scully out wide, gives it Gleeson. Hoppy. They drive him towards the touchline. He does well to stay in the field of play. Looks like Bennett driving the ball up. Got on the score sheet last time here against the Wildcats. Joint did well. Oh, good support. Newlove just couldn't unload it. He had Martin and Kirkpatrick on his outside. Here's Joint again. Cunningham couldn't control it. The Blue Sox have the ball back. Robbie Beckett. No, it's not Robbie Beckett. Donlan it is.
Yeah, Donlan getting Halifax out of jail again, coming up with the ball. And Netherton is a big fella. He's the lad from Leeds in the England under-19 squad, along with Liam Finn and Andrew Buckler have also been selected. Halifax comes short side. David Woods tries to get it to Beckett. And Robbie Beckett's made more mistakes in one night than he has all season. Halifax throwing caution to the wind. And I said earlier, I'm not knocking the Halifax players for the lack of effort, but I think collectively it's one of the nights where, well, the dice ain't just going to roll their way.
Yeah, they've got to throw caution to the wind, haven't they? They've nothing to lose, have they? At 52-0 down. As Darrell said, they're not going to get anything out of tonight's game. They probably knew that before they come by. From Pat's records, Hoppy! Oh, look at that! Super try. Hoppy makes it 2 for the evening. Led the Blue Sox a merry dance. Double back on himself as the ball went over to the wing. Curl back inside. The Blue Sox just looking at each other, and Hoppy scooted in the full 45 metres to the try line. 10 tries. Scully with his 9th, only missed one. There it goes. So Sean Hoppy, another man that's leaving at the end of the season. Edmondson's just come on. Stankovic has gone off.
And with the conversion for Saints, number 13, Paul Sculper.
And as you said before, Darrell, about Gavin Clinch, as is he on now? So they've just brought Clinch on to try and put some life into the side. As Barry Ward bouncing off the defence. Long blistering pace. Support inside. Saints couldn't take it. Blue Sox, well, it's going to be head and feet to the Blue Sox at the scrum. Saints couldn't control the play.
but not through choice. Halifax with Duneman looking for a gap again. Ball comes loose, Halifax make another mistake, and I'm not taking anything away from the scintillating rugby that St Helens have played this evening, but I wonder just how many tries Halifax had been able to stop had they managed to keep hold of the ball, because I think that at least, if not all of the Saints tries have been built on Halifax mistakes. They've capitalised on them, they've had the ball and they've played superb rugby, but Halifax have contributed to that in a way. Again, they're putting at the scrum, Clinch to Duneman. That almost went on the floor as well as Duneman sets off again. And he's dragged down just short of halfway. Davidson off the short ball. Well, he certainly got some speed up in the short distance, then did Davidson, and carried the ball up to the 40. And now Andy Hobson, who's done well and dragged Halifax another 15 metres towards those Saints posts. Lawless from acting half, looking for a gap, not finding one, but still Halifax making yards forward. Duneman to McMenemy. McMenemy, little chip into the corner. Well, I think if it had hit his boot, it might have worked, but I think it came off his shin, and it's gone dead. But that's probably the closest Halifax have been tonight. And I was saying about Clint earlier on, and the game's changed since he's come on.
Yeah, that's right. Whether he's carrying a knock, I don't know, Darryl, but it's funny he's not been on from the start, because they're influential, both him and Duneman, aren't they? Cunningham. Well, he wants to get up and play it. Netherton wouldn't let him. Yes. Oh, I said yes. Sculthorpe putting the ball out of the tackle. Was it Scully? Yes, out of the tackle. And just the Saints player not being able to take it. Head feed to the Blue Sox on their own 40. 58 points to nil. 18 minutes gone of the second half.
Well, that's not bad for Halifax, because Saints have only scored 12 points in the second half. At this stage in the first half, Halifax had conceded 24. And they're still making the mistakes with the ball, but the defence is at least making a little bit more of an effort. And Saints, of course, I think they made 3 mistakes in the second half now. But that's the nature of the game with Saints, because they throw the ball about, and the mistakes will come eventually. Hobson stepping out of the tackle and making good yards for the Blue Sox again. Clinch, dummy runner, and Brocklehurst takes the ball up. Blue Sox almost up to the 20. Davidson, the dummy runner. Clinch taking the tackle. David Woods trying to step inside. Last tackle, Blue Sox in the Saints quarter. And Woods slow to get to his feet, obviously taking a big knock there. Well, Clinch will drill it through on the floor. Goes for it himself. And the pressure on there from Long, as Clinch almost got his hand to the ball. And after 59 minutes, Halifax have managed to put some pressure on the Saints line.
Yeah, and Saints forced to drop out, obviously been between the sticks. Gannon's just come back on, Hobson's gone off. Must have had treatment in.
Well, I thought Beckett was going off, but Goldspink has gone off. Beckett's making his way over to the touchline at the far side, so he's took a knock on the first half. And Netherton picks it up on halfway. Takes it back up to the 40. Andrew Brocklehurst back on. Well, David Woods, who's a veteran, will go out onto the wing. Or will he? Brocklehurst will move to centre. Davidson's flattered, much to the joy of the St Helens supporters. Clinch to Goldspink. And he had 2 goes, it did Goldspink. Well, you can't claim cold hands on a night like tonight for dropping ball. Clinch brings Duneman back in, who gives it to Lawless, who's unable to carve out an opening, but it's the best spell that Halifax have had here. I know they haven't scored, but it's still the best spell they've had. Chip through from Duneman. Pressure on the line. Just able to carry the man over, but Halifax defend again. So here comes full length of the field try, perhaps.
Yes, I hope you're right. It's Hyam. On his own 10-metre line. Now Hoppy looking for the hat-trick. 10 tries, 9 different players. Saints spread it. Do well to cover up. As you say, Halifax, Darrell, putting Saints under a bit of pressure. Edmondson now. Straight runner. Some of the young talent, obviously, that's been here a few years, but breaking through. Bennett, Edmondson, Martin puts it deep. Yeah.
Second row forward. Well, Martin had seen young Brocklehurst on the wing. There's a second row forward, from loose forward. You know, there's no way he's going to pick the ball up like Beckett does and bring it back 50 metres on a kick return. Gannon plays it quickly, now Goldspink. Well, Halifax have got the momentum going with the forwards a bit in the second half. Goldspink, Hobson, Gannon and Davidson taking Halifax forward. Duneman linking up, good ball to Brocklehurst. Brocklehurst round the outside. Well, not bad for a second rower there. Nifty show of the feet, which is one thing Brocklehurst has got. Normally a safe pair of hands, but a nifty pair of feet for a big man. And he almost got round the outside of Kirkpatrick then. Clinch putting it into touch. And Halifax, well, they've restored a little bit of pride in the second half, and they've taken the ball forward as well. All they need now is a 4-point, and I don't think even you'll begrudge that.
You want to bet? Hey, I tell you something, the coach at Gusper, we've 17 minutes of the game left, and the coach will not want the opposition to cross the whitewash, I can tell you. More or less a flawless first half, but no doubt the coach will have found something wrong with it. They usually do. Sean Long was in centre field there. It was, as you said, Kirkpatrick here that did well to get hold of Brocklehurst. And there's a little bit of jiggery pokery gone over there on the far side. The touch judge had come on. Well, it's going to be put on report. Goldspink. Well, he's put it on report. He's calling Chris Joynt. He's got Brett Goldspink. He's got Lawless there. The touch judge had come on. I wasn't watching. That doesn't surprise you, does it? But Darrell said it was Lawless and Edmondson and something and nothing. But the incident's been put on report, and I don't think we'll hear anything of that, Darrell.
Oh no, I'd sent them to cart him off in an ambulance.
Yeah. Almost 10 minutes since we scored a try, so we've got to get on the board. The points average. There's Gleeson taken down on that right flank. Saints want the ball right across here now. Long. Edmondson. He straightens up, takes the tackle. Very aggressive there. McMenemy going in. Sean Long, Martin, drop of the shoulder. Newlove. Oh, he couldn't control it. Newlove looking to like twist round and bounce it down over the whitewash, and he lost control of the ball. The Blue Sox withstand the pressure. 20-metre tap restart.
Well, it looked like for all the world a try there from Newlove. Here comes Davidson again. They cheer every time he's tackled, but he's taking the ball forward, which is what he's paid to do, as is Goldspink, who gets over halfway. They're very slow to play the ball at Halifax, which allows the defensive line up. Donlan comes in and Joynt wraps him up on halfway. Well, it's they've gone through the second half of Halifax with the forwards pounding out the yards up the middle, and then they've gone to Donlan, and Duneman had nowhere to go there, and suddenly they're losing ground and being forced back. Well, chase is on for Kirkpatrick. They finally bring him down on the 10. That's good play from the Saints winger, but I can't understand why Halifax have gone to the backs when the forwards are making the yards up the middle.
Well, Goldspink is having a word with the referee. They didn't look much in that tackle for me. Holding down was the referee's decision. Martin with a good kick finds touch on the halfway line. Saints want it quickly. Cunningham. Barry Ward. Blue Sox up quickly. Edmondson. Davidson meets him. Gannon's with him. Good yardage by the forwards. Short side. Cunningham. Joint. Inside. Martin. Lovely. Oh, the referee's give a forward pass. Never in the memory of man. He couldn't see that from there. Keeping the score down.
No, neither could you.
Nothing wrong with it. It was a perfect pass. I can see with my one red and white eye. What's up with you? Nothing wrong with it. Even the cameraman says there's nothing wrong with it. Danny, your cameraman tonight. Watch it on the replay. Still won't change the referee's mind. Blue Sox in possession, Donald.
How many points did you need to catch Bradford?
50.
Oh, 58. That's convenient then, isn't
Well,
it?
it is. Well, let's hope Castle can beat him.
We'll probably hoping anybody beats them. But Halifax have managed to get back up to the Saints 40. And 12 minutes to go. Yeah. Ish. Clinch. Duneman. Long ball out wide to Woods. 2-on-1 here. And Kirkpatrick went for it. But I don't think in his wildest dreams Andrew Brocklehurst could have imagined going from 30 metres, even with a 2-on-1. But still, it's only 12 points to nil in the second half. 18. 12 points in the second half. Wishful thinking. That forward pass, you didn't count that, did you? Duneman brings Donlan on the inside. Lawless. Duneman switches play again. Clinch managed to get out of the way of Barry Ward. He tugged on the shirt. Cunningham finished Clinch off. Gannon gets it away to McMenemy. Halifax have a bit of a roll on. Donlan does well to pick it up. Goldspink. Never a forward pass in this world. Never. Clinch to Duneman. Duneman out to Woods. Woods steps inside this time. He wouldn't have taken... well, he has. Well, it's contact, so I don't say it's deliberate, but if the contact's there, it's a penalty. That's the rugby league's ruling. David Woods is I think he's been hobbling since first 20 minutes. So it looks. I get up like that at my age now. Probably a bit slower than that. But Halifax pushing forward. Last tackle. Clinch the crossfield kick again. Man coming in on the far side. Halliwell misjudged the jump, and the tackle couldn't be made. And Saints have given Halifax the ball. Bit of generosity. So it's not all bad. Davidson drives forward. Lawless from acting half. Halifax 8 metres away from the Saints line, and they seem to edge a little bit closer every time they have the ball. Clings to Gannon. Gannon looks for support. Well, surely he's taken out there without the ball. He's got to be. It's Stuart Donlan who's already putting off surgery on the hand to try and help Halifax's course towards the end of the season. Gannon drives towards the post. McMenemy to Goldspink. Goldspink tries to get it away. Halifax keep it moving on that far side. Trying to wriggle out of the tackle. Lawless to McMenemy. McMenemy to Clint. Clings to Davidson, stood still when he took the ball. Gets up and plays it quickly. Halifax within 3 metres. Close to the line. Lawless gets up slowly. Well, there's options out here, surely. Halifax, if they can move it wide. Donlan loses possession. Brocklehurst picks it up. Well, Halifax made the mistake again. But what you were saying earlier about Ian Millward and coaches not wanting to concede a try, they must be on hell of hiding if they do concede a try, the way they defended the line there.
Yeah, I'll say. But Brocklehurst, he made sure he touched it down, even though it doesn't count. But yeah, unfortunately, Donlan coming through knocked it forward. Saints did well though. They're down to 12 men for the remainder of the game. Edmondson off. I think Barry Ward's coming off now. Nicholl's going to come back on, which he is. Yeah, he's hobbling a bit there, Barry Ward. Took a knock to the leg. Martin feeds. Long, along the line. Get round the back of the player. Saints attack. Good support by the Saints. Good tackling by the Blue Sox. Quick play, the ball wanted. Hyam. We know this lad can go all the way. Nicholl back on for Barry Ward. Makes a valuable 10 metres. Sculthorpe. Martin. Bennett takes the tackle. Woods and Clinch. Short side again. Newlove. The big man will take the tackle. Woods and Clinch again. Last one of the sequence. Will it go in the air? Will we go for a one-pointer? Martin chips it through. It's lost. Saints did come up, yes, it's the turnover. Cunningham went through, but he couldn't get it.
Halifax trying to bring it away, and they look at a weary bunch now. Saints penalised, and Clint's quick to get on with it, seeing that Saints have nobody at home in defence. And he made 40 yards for the Blue Sox. 7 minutes to go. Goldspink, who's trod the path down this middle of this ground a time or two.
Yeah, that's true.
In the years he's been over here. With Oldham, Wigan, Halifax and St Helens. Duneman again. Looking round, gets it away to Lawless. Halifax struggling to move forward. Goldspink throws a dummy. And almost stepped out of the tackle, had the option of the pass. Couldn't get it away quick enough. McMenemy will try and shrug off the tacklers, turn around, try and release the ball. Nicholl not in a rush to let go. Lawless brings Duneman back on the inside off Clint. And here it comes. Surely nobody will catch Newlove. Woods chasing after Newlove. Over the top to Martin. Well, Brocklehurst showed a bit of speed. Newlove's going to get it. I'll give due credit to Woods and Brocklehurst there for not giving up the chase, because they could have given it up. Woods were on a loser because he was on the outside of Tommy Martin as he chased after Newlove. And the last pass really was just a speculator, and as always Saints have somebody at the back of it.
Yeah, good backing up. Newlove with the ball. Martin was outside him as Woods tried to cut him down. He gave it to Martin, then Newlove backing up, got the ball back. In between the posts. Saints 11th try, Newlove second for the evening. $64 points to nil. With 12 men, Edmondson in the sin bin. Not a bad build-up. Next week, home again against the Leeds Rhinos. Darryl Powell will be watching the video of tonight's Saints exploits and whether he can get his side G'd up to withstand the onslaught of the Super Saints here at Nosey Road next week against the Rhinos. Only time will tell. Nickel, driving run, blockbusting run from a standing start. Sculthorpe up to the halfway. Long dabs it through. Martin chases it. Donlan does well. Is it Donlan?
Oh, saved Halifax again as Stuart Donlan. Had to challenge for the ball as Martin went after it. Davidson off the short ball again. And he's still striding forward till somebody went round the legs. Goldspink takes it one-handed. Halifax have gone back to the forwards. Now they're making ground again. Lawless to Duneman. Clinch, little chip through, off the side of the boot for Gavin Clinch. And the second line of defence there just in time to keep the man behind the line.
And we'd like to thank you for your support here this evening on Turkey's Super League match for Saints against the Blue Sox with an official attendance of 8,611.
Well, it's quite surprising that those few Halifax supporters that made the trip over here have actually stopped to the end, because normally when you get the Pie Eaters and the Rhinos and the Bulls 10 minutes from end, 20 points down, they're halfway down the M62. Duneman to Gannon.
To select the man of the match each and every week. Their award goes to
Lawless to Duneman, back off Clinch to Duneman. Newlove hanging on till the reinforcements got there. Into the last 2 minutes, McMenamet shows the ball, then gives it to Lawless. Tackled by opposite number Cunningham, ball comes loose again. Well, I don't know what. Well, Lawless has injured there, and he looks to have taken quite a knock as well. But probably Ian Donlan, more than most, have put the bodies on the line for the Blue Sox tonight. But made a difference since Clinch has come on, brought the forwards onto the ball, and they've been taking Saints back, and they've been getting over the advantage line. You say a strange choice as to why Clinch wasn't on from the start. Yeah. And would it made a difference? Man, it'd be no good. It's surprising how well they've kept hold of the ball in the second half. That made half as many mistakes. But then they haven't got Beckett on the wing, so you get the likes of young Brocklehurst. When he gets the ball, he's never going to outpace anybody. Well, John Lawless to be up, it's not serious. Already with the top try scorer Colm Halpenny missing till the end of the season.
Well, unfortunately, Johnny Lawless
without the likes of Thackeray and Bloom. Liam Finn back on for John Lawless. It looks like it looks like a dead leg. Here goes Nickel. Oh, but should imagine Nickel only runs that far in training normally.
Yeah, well, Nickel goes up there. There's the final hooter. Saints just being kept down to 18 points in the second half. Scored 46 in the first. Joint Hoppy and Newlove with tries in the second half. Gold by Sculthorpe. 11 tries, 10 goals. The Saints finish off in style. 7 days rest before the Leeds Rhinos are the next victims for the Cosh here at Nosey Road. Castleford and Bradford on Sunday, and let's hope that the Tigers can do the job. The players applauding the support over here below us, the Popular side faithful, the main stand side, the Eddington and the clubhouse end. And what a performance the lads have put in tonight. Kept a clean sheet, and that's the main thing, I'm sure, as far as the players are concerned, and the coach. Stuart, your PA man, just winding him up there. Halifax off into the bath. Saints now will get back.
In history, and I also just add that bunch of guys on the field are now at the top of the Super League.
Yeah, top of the Super League for the Saints. Till at least Sunday, till the Bulls play. What a performance from start to finish. From when Scully started it in the 2nd minute and Newlove finished it 5 minutes from the final hooter. Thanks for joining us. You've been with Micron Video, myself, Ron Hoop, Donald McCauley for Halifax, Danny on camera. See you next Friday.